sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Goodfella Sports TV and Billy Joe Saunders did an interview, and I linked a little tweet in the description where he said that Canelo Alvarez is trying to get the cheapest option for Cinco de Mayo, and that's probably going to be Callum Smith. He revealed that he's probably going to put a 10-pound rehydration clause on Callum Smith, and that he may end up fighting, if he doesn't get the Canelo fight, Demetrius Andrade. So let's talk a little bit about that. We back. Goodfella Sports TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love and support. And Andrade, we can talk about Andrade and Billy Joe first, and then we go into Canelo. But Andrade and Billy Joe was supposed to happen, what, almost a year ago? And maybe even longer. And 2 years almost. And it didn't happen because Billy Joe failed the drug test for oxyfrine, which he blamed it on nasal spray. But since then, he hasn't looked the same. You know, the Billy Joe that looked like he did versus Dave Lemieux, that guy hasn't showed back up. And I'm not saying that Dave Lemieux is a world beater. This is a dude that got knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio. All right, and a little nugget right here. That's who Canelo, that's who Golovkin won his WBC interim title from, was Marco Antonio Rubio. And basically they stripped Canelo, and he became the WBC title holder that's now held by Jamal Charlo. But he hadn't looked the same physically, you know, that stamina. He had never looked like that before. You know, Dave Lemieux got to kind of be hitting himself on the head like, you know, was this dude on oxyfrine before? And anybody that failed a drug test, past opponents have to ask themselves that, you know what I'm saying? And but he hasn't looked the same, you know, and that's why Canelo considered him now, but he didn't consider him after he beat Dave Lemieux. And Eric Gomez, that works over at Golden Boy, said that, come on, these fucking Dearborn drivers from Michigan, man, the worst. And but Eric Gomez said after he beat Dave Lemieux, he says that you know, Canelo don't have any interest in beating Billy Joe, or fighting Billy Joe Saunders, and we already beat that style, and basically tap dancing around fighting Billy Joe. But ever since Billy Joe got popped, Billy Joe ain't looked the same physically, hand speed wise, stamina wise, leg speed, hopping around. He looks very, very hittable. His defense has become subpar. And, you know, he ain't really fought nobody in his career neither. Billy Joe's best win is David Lemieux. He had a sloppy fight with Willie Monroe. All right? And that was a really, really nasty, ugly fight. And to kind of segue into another kind of subject matter about this, I think Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders is a terrible stylistic fight. I think this may be as bad, if not worse, than Billy Joe Saunders versus Willie Monroe. You know, both guys got their sloppy, you know, tendencies, and this is going to be an ugly fight. I don't see this being a technical marvel of a fight. I think Demetrius Andrade versus Callum Smith might be a better fight from a stylistic standpoint of view if he were to move up. But it's going to be an ugly fight. It's a fight that a lot of fans look forward to. This is the best opposition that either guy's faced. And it's hard to know how good Demetrius Andrade really is. And Andrade's beat Ronald Monterosi and Willie Nelson. But it's hard to know how good Billy Joe is. And he beat Chris Eubanks Jr. and Dave Lemieux. So they both, you know, is in their 30s, and they don't have a signature win. Like you could say Errol Spence got a signature win over Kell Brook, and he got a signature win over Sean Porter. And, you know, he got solid wins over Lamont Peterson. You could say, you know, Crawford had a signature win over Gamboa and Victor Poston. You know, you can keep going on and on. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman had signature wins over Sean and Danny. You know, Deontay had a signature win, you know, over Luis Ortiz. And, you know, at the end of the day, they both don't have that. I'm not saying like a Sugar Ray beating Tommy Hearns type of like Hall of Fame type signature win. But these dudes don't have the win that pop. And you got to ask yourself, if they fight each other, does it produce, like being in their 30s, does it produce like, okay, these dudes are pound for pound for beating each other, or these dudes got a signature win for beating each other? Like, I mean, I think it's a good move. You know, I think boxing definitely need more of this. So, you know, I'm all for the fight, but I have my reservations about how good the fight will be from a stylistic standpoint. I think it's going to be really, really sloppy of a fight. I favor Demetrius Andrade because he seemed to be the more, you know, natural fighter from not taking drugs, and his performances and his stamina looks consistent. You know what I'm saying? And Billy Joe's defense really fell off a cliff, especially if he made Billy Joe come down to 160, or if Andrade go up to 68. I really don't. I think Demetrius Andrade, he got an ugly, nasty type of decision. But you know what? You never know. Demetrius Andrade, he may fight tall. You know, he may not be as sloppy. When the chips on the table, this should be the best Demetrius Andrade you've seen. You know, all that wild, drunken master, drunken Emmanuel Augustus type of style. I think if you're gonna see a really, really clean, technical, and close to flawless Demetrius Andrade, you're gonna see it in his upper echelon, high-profile fights. And I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad Canelo is picking Callum Smith. You know, if that's true what Billy Joe's saying, because you know it give us a good fight with Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe. But if he didn't fight Callum Smith, he fought fought Billy Joe and Canelo. Then where would that sit us at? You know, Demetrius Andrade, maybe think about fighting Derevchenko, which is a good fight, but it's a guy that lost 2 of his last 3 fights. So I like the fight, and you know, people think Demetrius Andrade really 6'1". That dude is close to 6'3". Look how he towered. Look how he towered over Billy Joe in some of the pictures when they was originally supposed to fight. So I wonder will they go back to Massachusetts. I doubt it, since Billy Joe cussed out the Massachusetts Athletic Commission after he failed the drug test on the call. So I mean, you might be looking at somewhere in New York. If they do it in New York City, it had to be a stacked card behind that. Not saying Demetrius Andrade don't pull, but they got to be a stacked card behind that. But if they do it in you know, maybe LA, maybe Texas, I mean, it has to be somewhere on the East Coast. You know, do it. You know, DC Armory. You know, maybe in Philly. So we'll see. You know, you want somewhere where, you know, if some UK fans want to follow Billy Joe, they ain't got to go all the way across the country to Vegas. I don't think it's a Vegas fight anywhere, or LA or something like that. But yeah, Billy Joe basically saying that Canelo looking for the cheaper option, and that he's going to drain Callum Smith down with a 10-pound rehydration clause. And Callum Smith, from what everybody was telling me, he looked way drained his last fight versus John Ryder, and he needs to move. Most people was telling me he needs to move up, and that's the case. And Canelo about to drain him again. Like I said before, I don't even think Callum Smith got a fan base like that that's going to travel to see him fight Canelo in the United States. And then Canelo just can't never beat nobody straight up. You know what I'm saying? This dude is 6'3". People forget Callum Smith is 6'3". He got some promise. I think Canelo beat his brother Liam Smith already, but he got some promise. But you know, the problem is, you know, he about to get drained. He already at a weight class that, you know, he already drained at. So Callum Smith willing to sell his all and willing to drain himself. And you never know, Eddie Hearn may pay the rehydration clause fee like he did with Danny Jacobs and give Callum Smith the best opportunity to win the fight. You know, but I don't understand why Canelo got to continue to hot wire contracts. People get mad at thumbs down the video, and this is what I don't understand. I see people, you know, take the thumbs up and the thumbs down, you know, emblem off. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't want that many people thumbs down and thumbs up the video. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people to know. I don't care if you don't like it or do like it. You support it in some type of fashion. It don't piss me off none. Appreciate the thumbs down too. But I'm gonna talk the truth about Canelo. Them Mexican or pro Canelo fans can't bully me off these streets. I'm gonna speak the truth. If people don't like it, I mean, cry 2 tears in the bucket. Fuck it, like you said in Kid Play. I'm in a house party, man. But at the same time, you know, with Canelo Alvarez, man, he's a very, very talented fighter, and I like him. You know, don't get it twisted. I like him. I like what he brings to the table. The defense, the elusiveness, the whole shebang. He's a really, 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 really good fighter, man. But can we hold on, I'm parking. Can we ask this dude to stop hot wiring fights and stuff of that nature, man? That's the question. Hold on. We in the snow. Can we ask this dude to stop hot wiring fights and stop draining guys and fight guys straight up? And that's the $1 million question. Don't nobody want to see Canelo Alvarez keep draining these guys and beating these guys when they not their best. And these guys got excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses. Oh, I wasn't the same. And he putting gag orders on guys he putting gag order on guys, you know, where they can't say what really went on and all this stuff in the nature. But, you know, he fight Callum Smith. I don't know what that does for his legacy, but the thing about it is Callum Smith is the lineal champion, which is some bull jive. You know what I'm saying? He beat absolutely nobody in that World Boxing Super Series tournament. Everybody was a late replacement or George Groves rushed his shoulder surgery back. And you can't tell me that Callum Smith, especially after the John Ryder performance, which he lost, is amongst the best super middleweights in the world. He's not better than David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. He may be better than Billy Joe, and that might be an if, you know, with some of his stamina issues. But, you know, at the same time, man, I don't know what does that do? They paying Canelo $30 million a fight to fight these caliber guys that nobody in the United States know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see that y'all subscribers didn't really jump when he beat Kovalev. Most people was watching the UFC fight. Y'all see, you know, when he fought Danny Jacobs, y'all subscribers probably didn't jump. Nobody really cared. When he fought Rocky Fielding, they had to give away 5,000 tickets before, you know, the fight so it could be sold out. So the DAZN, they don't really want to admit it publicly, but they made a big mistake by making Canelo the face of their platform and giving them all that money, because they not turning over a profit. He not fighting nobody that appeals to the public. You know what I'm saying? And when he fight Golovkin in the trilogy in September, if all goes as well, they're going to find out that nobody care about that fight neither. And don't be surprised if the DAZN USA don't file bankruptcy and fold, because remember, they supposed to be trying to add, you know, the Sunday ticket or add something else to the platform, and you can't do that in America. You could do it in Canada because the NFL not that big in Canada, and to get the money to the rights to that, it's not that expensive. So you can't just build a platform off of boxing and Bellator and expect to you know, to do something in this sports world, man. It just don't work that way. So, like I said before, you know, it sounds like Callum Smith and Canelo next. You know, as far as, you know, if they fight straight up and Callum Smith don't have to get, you know, a rehydration clause, he still probably lose. You know, because he too big for the weight. He already outgrown the weight class. You know, and you know, Billy Joe say the cheaper option, that's what they're looking for. You know, the Golden Boy trying to pocket as much money as that DAZN money they can. You know, if it wasn't for the DAZN, you know, Golden Boy would be in trouble. And you gotta wonder, why didn't DAZN give Oscar De La Hoya that money and let him run the platform, and they gave it to Eddie Hearn? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the Golden Boy fights still coming on the Facebook Watch. You know, so, you know, you gotta wonder, man. You know, Oscar De La Hoya would have probably been better running the DAZN than Eddie Hearn, but then again, De La Hoya has alienated the black media. He alienated black people in general. You know what I'm saying? He blocked a lot of the black media from coming to Canelo fights, and they don't want to answer the racist emails. So from a PR standpoint, De La Hoya not only took $1 billion out of his pocket with the DAZN deal, he lost to Eddie Hearn, and now Eddie Hearn running the platform, you know, telling him what to do and how to do it for the most part. So, like I said before, Callum Smith and Canelo Alvarez does nothing. You know, that's not even the best fight of the month. I think Burchett and Valdez is a more appealing fight than that. And nobody in America knows who Callum Smith is. Nobody. This dude virtually fighting nobody. You know, so we'll see, man. The DAZN gonna regret doing what they did. They're not gonna succeed. You know, if they stick around like for the next 5 years, man, they're gonna be in debt, file bankruptcy. They need to pack their bags up and leave. And we thought we won when we got rid of HBO, you know, but the DAZN that came in and made it a lot worse, man. And, you know, it is what it is. It's the game. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel, that link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. And don't forget, check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Boxing. It's 18% off the 100% all natural products. And let me know what you guys think about Billy Joe and Andrade, I guess, on the DAZN. And what y'all think about Callum Smith and Canelo on the DAZN. That's going to be May 2nd, right here in the United States in Las Vegas, Nevada. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time we gone.